The party
Guy
was lame to me.
Fieri.
Fieri.
This is the fun.
Yeah.
So they're trying to track him down. Mora's at the party.
I just want to say, you are never allowed to pick the freaking theme for anything again. Okay. Albuquerque, fire truck. We're just yelling out words now? What's going on here? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so you can check us out there. Be sure to check us out there. My name is Matt, and as always, I'm being joined by my co-host and sister, Vetta.
Hi, guys.
Hey, you. Now, on this episode, we're going to be talking about the beta test. Before we get started, I'm gonna ask Vetta the most important question of the night, and that is, Vetta, what are you drinking?
Well, I went with rum and Coke again because it was really good the last couple of times. So I thought, why, change it? It's not broken. Plus, I couldn't find a theme drink that really went with this movie. So unless it was going to be something purple, and I thought about it, but
Right on. No, I'm just drinking a glass of red wine because I was like, I guess that kind of fits in there. So, okay. So before we get started on the whole movie review, talking about this movie, I'm gonna read the synopsis for it. And the synopsis is: a married Hollywood agent receives a mysterious letter from an anonymous sexual encounter Let me read that over again. I'll edit it. A married Hollywood agent receives a mysterious letter for an anonymous sexual encounter and becomes ensnared in a sinister world of lying, murder, and infidelity. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So, Vetta, had you seen this movie before?
I had never even heard of this movie before.
Okay. Well, what did you think about it overall?
It was good, kind of. I think it's an hour too long. He puts way too much. I really want to go. Is he doing some drugs? Because he's super paranoid, and I feel
he was
like
doing a lot of stuff.
right, because I'm sorry, and I know this is going to sound horrible, but I know people that have gotten divorced because their spouse cheated on them, and they didn't find out. It was when their spouse told them, so they had no clues. So this guy and his paranoia is what caused 90% of the shit that went down in this movie. That was just unnecessarily ridiculous.
Okay. So I want to just talk about the main, before we talk a little bit more, because I have some questions that I want to ask you. Yeah. So the main part of this movie is that Jordan, our main character, by the way, I had seen this movie before, obviously, because I suggested us watching it. But I had seen it right when it had come out on rental or whatever, on digital rental or whatnot. And I liked it immediately. I was like, this movie is so good. So I loved it. I have thoughts. We're going to get into it. Anyway, so the main part of it is that Jordan receives a purple envelope with an invitation from an anonymous admirer to a no strings attached intimate encounter at a hotel, and he just gets super interested in that. And we'll talk about that later on.
And it has like an RSVP card. What are you interested in sexual?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that because he fills out a whole form, and there's like, some algorithm shit.
I have questions about that too.
I want to hear your questions, honey. My first question for you is, though, would you have answered the questionnaire if it was sent to you?
I would have showed it to my husband right away. I'd be like, what the fuck is this shit? Is this like some kind of weird joke?
So you
would send me this?
Would you have not? So you wouldn't have gone through with it?
No.
Okay.
That's how people get murdered.
Oh, we're going to talk about that. I want to talk about that. I tell you right now, okay. So let's just pretend you did go through it. Let's just pretend. Okay.
Would you go through with it?
Yes. No, nobody knows. And I don't know who the person is. So I guess if they showed up at like the supermarket, be like, we fucked. I'd be like, I have no idea who you are, honey. I don't know you. I don't even know you. Okay. But that's not, that would never happen. Anyways, okay. So let's just say, pretend you went through with it. Okay. Would you pay the $5,000 is so much money. Would you pay $5,000 to figure out who it was?
No, because it's
Yeah,
supposed to stay anonymous.
Yeah, yeah, I was like, thus the appeal, fuckers. I give zero fucks who it was. I don't care how good the sex was, which we're gonna talk about that.
Oh yeah, I just go. There are so many of this situation that is like, no, no, no.
Yes. Okay. So, all right. My last question for you is, should I be taking out stock in white strips, Crest white strips? Because that fucker was using them like they were fucking candy at Halloween. He was like popping those suckers like Altoids. Like it was crazy.
I know. Every time you seen him look in his car mirror, he was peeling one
Oh,
off.
yeah, at the end, I wrote it in my notes. Go finish what you were saying.
Oh no, and I was gonna say, don't they recommend you do them at night so you can go to sleep with that gunk on your teeth? And what doesn't that gunk
You only want to keep them
make your
on for like
breath?
20 minutes. When I used to
No,
do
no, no.
them,
But I mean, you peel them off. You're not supposed to brush your teeth, but it still has like
right? No, yeah, you're right. You're
and
right.
you
You're right.
sleep with that on. But I'm like, if he still had that stuff on his teeth after he peeled the strip off, wouldn't that make his breath smell gross? I don't know.
Right
It
on.
just seems nasty that he's walking around with that gunk on his teeth.
Yeah, and he did say at the end, which I want to talk about, but he was like, my teeth are fucked. And I was like, your teeth are so fucked. They are
Remember when
so
he
fucked.
shows the one and it's like
Yeah.
rotted?
Yeah, it's so gross. I was like, ew. I'm like, sweet pea, gingivitis is the leading cause of all tooth decay, just so you know. Okay.
Why didn't he
So
just go and get veneers?
that's what I was thinking too. I was like, well, there's so many easier ways. Just do what I do. Brush with baking soda and peroxide and a dab of toothpaste in there. Mix that shit together and just brush with that. I mean, you have to, if you drink me like
So you're
coffee
paper mache and your
yeah,
teeth
yeah,
are
yeah, exactly. But you brush that shit after like a week, they're not like white, but they're pretty white. Anyways, okay. So Jordan, this whole time, like the whole time, I wrote it down like 4 times. I was like, Jordan is down to fuck. Like Jordan wants to fuck so bad, and
because
not
he's
his
looking
fiance.
at everybody.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm just like, Jordan, maybe you shouldn't get married. Like if you're just like, don't get me wrong, I get it. Like you want to smash that poontang all day long and everything. And I get it. When you crouch down, I shy he to the dillies, and I'm in Town. But you need to calm it down, buddy, because you have a fiance who wasn't the hottest bitch on the planet, but she wasn't ugly. And their sex scene was pretty hot too. I just want to say that too. But which I wrote that down in my notes, which we'll talk about. But he was so down to fuck. Like he was like, I'm ready to fuck.
Oh, for sure.
And he fills out that, well, first off, he throws it out first, and then he goes through the trash. And I was like, now
Through the
he
trash.
is
They
so
get
down.
it.
He is so down to fuck. He went through the trash. I was like, okay, he is serious now. He needs to get it. Okay, now he fills out that survey. What did you think about you said you had questions about that? I want to hear your questions.
I do. So it looked, it did have like normal like questions on it, like what do you like, sub, dom, choking. I mean, he like triple checks and circles face sitting. I'm like, okay, he really likes that a lot. We get it.
I like that a lot too. I'm
But my
saying.
question is if the woman got one of those cards too, when did they tell him what was on her card? Or
I don't
because he checked Dom, did he just get some woman that was up for anything? I mean, when do they tell them? Because we never see that. So I don't like that because then I'm like, well, did she get what she wanted out of it?
Oh, I'm pretty sure she got what she wanted out of it. I'm like 99% sure she got what she wanted out of it. Okay. So, okay. So before he has the whole, and I just want to say, I wrote it down my notes and I want to talk to you about it because I'm curious to what you think about it. But, and I want before we talk about all the other people that answered the invitation. Okay. So this guy Raymond, this Asian guy Raymond, they want to book him as, because they're both agents, him and his friend, PJ. They are agents and they want to book this guy bad. Now, what this guy does, I couldn't tell you because I wasn't paying that close attention. I was just like, his name is Raymond, and apparently he touched Jordan's dick at a party, and I was like,
Does.
I was like, did I miss that? I missed it.
You
I missed
must
it.
have.
I must have. Because I wrote
Instead
it.
of shaking his hand, because Jordan puts his hand out to shake his hand, and he grabs his dick the way you imagine Trump grabbing pussy.
Oh, right on. Right on. Well, I was like, oh, I missed that part. I must have missed it. I missed it because I don't remember that. Anyways, okay. So he wants to book frame. So he goes and he spends $10,000 of his company's money on a shitty painting. That painting was so fucking shitty. I was like, you wasted money. You wasted money.
And the company's not happy about it.
They are not. They are asking about. I would have just tried to sell it like on eBay for like, or
I would have
some.
been like, oh my God, I gave the company card instead of my personal, but this is for a client.
Yeah, I would have done something. I would have started sucking dick or something to get that $10,000. I would have just been like, oopsie, I'm like it was
And then his
bad.
friend goes and signs the person behind his back, the
Yeah.
guy, which I'm like, oh, that's snaky.
Yeah, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, Jordan's not doing a lot of he's not thinking correctly. You know what I'm
No.
saying? He's thinking of one thing only. Okay. And I love how that Asian guy was having none of their nonsense. He's like, you guys are fucking useless and everything. He's like, your business will be you'll be out of business in like 2 years and everything. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not signing with you guys. Speaking of PJ, okay, real quick, I wrote down PJ, I thought was pretty cool. I thought it was a pretty cool dude. Also, very smart with that whole Venmo thing. I was like, look at you,
Yeah.
PJ. Look at you using your brain and shit. And I was like, I like that. Lauren, his girlfriend, is a cunt.
His wife.
Wife, yeah, that's what I said. You just didn't hear right.
Oh, I must have. I've
Yeah,
had alcohol.
yeah, she's a cunt. I didn't like her at all. When he snapped at her, I was like, good for you, Jordan, because she's annoying as shit. What'd you think of Lauren?
I didn't like her at all.
Yeah, good for you, sister. And by sister, I don't
just
mean
was like,
sibling.
why is he so worried? Just why does he need to be married so bad?
Yeah, yeah.
Especially to her, because she's clearly super impressed by all of the things he can provide.
No, Lauren's the blonde that's married to
Oh,
PJ.
oh, I could have swore you said Jordan. Ooh, I gotta cut off the alcohol.
It's okay.
Oh,
It's okay. Yeah,
oh,
no.
yeah. Well, she's an attorney, and
Yeah.
she comes from a family of all attorneys, so she's gonna be a bitch.
Yeah, I just did not like her at all.
No.
Like
Oh, and when he gets the work call, and granted it's just Jordan, and they're having the picnic, and she gets super pissed off at him, I'm like, dude, work pays the bills.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
Exactly.
at the fucking park. Your kid's what, a year old? They're not gonna fucking remember that dad took a call at your picnic.
Yeah. So sorry, he's a provider, you fucking bitch. Okay. All right. I would like to move on to the hot hotel blindfolded scene if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Okay, so first off, I don't know about you, but I don't like seeing dick, and I feel like we saw some balls and dick in there, and I was like,
You did multiple
I was
times.
like, I could have done without that, but I was like, at the same time, I was like, fine. I was like, I get to see titties.
Oh, I was just gonna say,
It's
guys
fine.
get to see
It's
titties all the
fine.
time. Women never get to see dick.
And like you want to stop it, like you want to see that shit. Get out of here with that.
No, because it was flaccid. So.
But I love how he was all like, hello. And I'm all like, I don't know about you, but I'm all the whole time I'm all like, if you feel like you're in because when she puts his hand on her throat, he's like, oh, and everything. And I'm all like, I would at that point, I just take the blindfold off. I'd take the blindfold off because she's blindfolded. I'd be like, well, one of us can be unblindfolded because the other one doesn't know.
And my whole thing is why do they stay blindfolded the whole time? Where did it say you had to stay blindfolded?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's like the excitement of it all, the anonymity, but the whole time I'm just like, or at least I would put it on my forehead so that way she'd think it was on my face and while she was writing my face, but
That's
then
what I
it
mean. We're missing something. There had to be a communication somewhere that they didn't show us that gave, the other person the card and then said, do not remove the blindfold or we'll know.
Right.
And there will be consequences or whatever.
Oh God, that'd been so good because I've been like, what are the consequences, fucker? Yeah, no, it was
cameras in the room. It's gonna go.
But I don't know about you, but no, stop it. Well, I don't know about you, but when that sex scene was going on, I was getting the tingles downstairs. I was like, this is hot. This is very hot. I was like,
Where's everybody in the house
Oh no,
at?
my wife was next to me. I was totally was like, if you want, you can jerk me off. It's fine during the scene. It's fine. I'll deal with it. It's fine.
I mean,
Again.
if you
Oh
want
yeah, gosh,
to.
you want to jerk me off again tonight? Jesus. All right, fine, go ahead. Anyways, okay.
God, you're so
You're so
demanding.
dumb.
Ugh,
I'm not a piece of meat.
the things I have to do for you.
All right. Okay. So I want to talk about if you would like to talk about it, the reactions to the spouses that find out about the infidelity, okay, the cheating, okay.
Yeah, these ones,
So
he has definitely picked the person that's doing this whole game. Something in his algorithm must be like, these people are fucking psychotic. This is gonna be
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
There'll
because
be no trace to me.
yeah, right, exactly. So the woman in the beginning, right? That dude straight up stabs her, and I'm
Right
all like,
in the neck. Like when he
yeah,
did that, I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
yeah,
But
he
she
was.
knew he was gonna do it because she called 911
Yeah, he was,
before.
yeah, exactly. He was not fucking around. He was all like, I'm mad. And me, I'm all like, wow, you guys went straight for the jugular, like literally. So I was like, me, I'd be like, I'd be pissed. I may, you might catch a hand or two. I don't know if I'd kill you. And I love
But he
how
doesn't just stab her. He picks her up and throws her off their
off the balcony.
balcony.
Yeah, yeah. He was like, he was just straight up pissed. And me, I'm all like, and I just go, she only wanted the $5,000 from him so she could pay to find out who it was. That dick must have been so good. Like
So good.
and she was willing to risk it all for that dick. So it must have been like top-notch dick. And a small piece of me wants to know who was the dude that she cheated on with, because
Because it does show in the other incidences
yeah,
they were
who the
cheating with each other.
exactly.
That it shows us. But my whole thing is like, man, he literally had the mindset, if I can't have you, no one will, and just flat out killed her, stabbed her so many times, picked her up like she was like he picked her up like nothing by like the waist of her pants and just hurled her off
Yeah,
of. I was
yeah.
like, oh, I was like, that's what we call in the business overkill.
Yeah, he was he was
She was dead from the stab in the neck. He didn't
yeah.
need to keep going.
Yeah, he was like, he was gonna make sure she was dead. Okay. So the next one was the Asian guy, Raymond, and then that black dude. I don't know if we had met the black dude from
We had not.
before.
We
Okay.
only see him when the Asian guy is killed. He's out on his terrace looking at pictures of dudes, and it gives us the flash of him being with a dude, and then his wife asks him a question.
Yeah, that black dude, and then the wife goes ape shit on him, and then he goes out to his car. She just straight up comes out and shoots him.
In front of the gardeners and everything.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm all like, oh my god, you guys aren't even trying to get away with it now. You guys are just like, fine, I'm going to jail. This fucker's gonna die now, and I'm like,
I love how she immediately picks up her cell phone, doesn't even make it back in the house, calls her attorney's office immediately. And then I liked how when Jordan's out to dinner with the JP guy to talk about this, his phone dings and he shows his friend that his new client just died. And the JP guy's like, my whole fucking world just fell apart. I'm like,
right, yeah.
I'm like, dude, calm down. Calm down. It's one client. You hadn't booked him anything or made him any money yet. So it's okay.
Exactly. I was like, the fucker wasn't gonna go with you anyways. You just spent 10 grand on him for nothing.
But the black guy's wife poisons him through his pen.
His vape pen. Yeah, his little vape pen or whatever.
Through his vape pen. I'm like, oh, that's kind of genius. She went for the, and then she smokes it herself. So is murder suicide.
Yeah, exactly. But my whole thing with that is just like, I was just like, man, is it really like I would like to think that if my wife cheated on me, I would be mad, but I don't think I'd be murder mad. I'm like,
I wouldn't be murder mad.
I think you were right about maybe his algorithm just picked the craziest motherfuckers spouses. Like he's just like, let's do this algorithm. We're just gonna pick the craziest people on the planet, but we're gonna pick their spouses to cheat and everything. So although Jordan's fiance, we'll talk about her later, but she didn't kill him. She forgave him.
She was the woman.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was.
That slept with him in the hotel? No, she was not. It was the woman in the coffee shop.
I don't think so.
No, because she got her own invite and she didn't go.
Oh, well, maybe that's why I'm confused.
Yeah, no, because when they were in the coffee shop.
Oh, do you think that's it? He sends an invitation to both?
I think that his algorithm just did it. Like
Oh.
I don't think he left that basement because he was all grody looking and
He did
everything.
look like he was deficient of vitamin
Yeah,
D.
yeah. So okay. So so when they go to the cabin, right, to get to redo their relationship or whatever, to
Reconnect.
yeah, there we go. Thank you. Um their sex scene was pretty hot too. I was like, I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on here, but you guys, I mean, like, I got the tingles in my dick hole from your sex scene.
I don't know though.
So,
She made a face during it where she was like, ugh, is this almost over?
well, we all get those faces sometimes, you know. Well, I mean, I don't. My face is usually like this and everything, or my O face is like this and everything. So, but yeah,
TMI.
no.
TMI.
uh, but yeah, no, I thought their sex scene was pretty hot. I was all like, I don't know what's going on here. Maybe her vagina feels weird. I don't know, but yeah. Okay, so going over to the coffee shop because you didn't realize that you the whole time in that
I just
coffee
thought it was
shop.
one of his paranoid freak out
But
things.
he kind of saw her when he was closing the door and he took
But
off
I
his.
didn't think it looked like the same woman.
Oh, it was definitely, and she
Like
was
the
being.
lady in the hotel room had different hair.
Are you kidding me? No, she didn't. It was
Yes, it was
brown.
curled and
It
bigger. It
was
wasn't
not.
straight.
You are so
You're
wrong.
insane.
You're insane. You don't know what the
You're insane.
fuck
You
you're
were just
talking
staring
about.
at her tits. That's all.
That's not, I mean, I was, but I have the rewind button, fucker. And plus,
I
this
don't
isn't the
think you
first time I
used
saw it.
that.
Anyways, what are you talking? I used the pause button the whole time. Anyways, and I could zoom
Did you
in.
pause
So
on his dick?
I did. I was like, is it bigger than mine? I want to know. Anyways.
You're like covering your wife's eyes. You don't need to see that.
So okay, but okay, now okay, first off, it had to be the right woman because he was all like, "What's your name?" And she would not tell him her name. And I'm all like, why wouldn't, like, if a
A
stranger,
stranger walked up to you in a cafe and just all of a sudden goes, "What's your name?"
well, if somebody had approached me, like, "Hey, my name is, John Smith," I'd be like, "Hey, I'm Matt Ivers. How are you?" and everything. And then he's like, "Oh, nothing, nothing." I was like, I'd be like, "John Smith, don't show up at my house, or you won't leave my house, just so you know."
Yeah, I'd been like, "Why
Mm.
do you want to know my name? Do we
But
know
she
each
didn't
other?"
even do that. She didn't
Mhm.
even do that. She stayed silent the whole
Yeah,
time.
that was. I just
So,
thought he was having one of his paranoid freakouts that he has through this whole thing.
but okay, now going on. What if that? But
And
let's
he's a
let's.
stalker. He
He is.
sits in
He's
his
crazy.
car watching people so
Yeah, he
much.
does. He is weird. But okay, now let's just pretend that that wasn't the woman, even though, I mean, technically I have no proof that that is the woman. I just think it is, and I'm pretty sure I'm correct.
Okay.
But what if that wasn't the woman? What a freaking psycho. He just walks up to some rando because they have, what, the same jawline as the woman he fucked. I'm like, hey, don't be weird in front of your fiance, you fucking crazy. Maybe just take a snapshot of her and maybe, like, reverse Google search her picture and see if you can find her LinkedIn or something. Don't be a fucking weirdo.
Well, he definitely doesn't think the way JP does because JP's all about the technology and has to explain technology to Jordan in
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
bar.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. I like JP. I like him as a character. Okay. So when he tracks down the guy that sent him the invitation, right?
yeah,
Did you think that he was going to murder him with a
I hoped he
hammer?
was gonna.
See, I didn't, well, I don't know about hoped, weirdo. I thought he was going to. I was
This
like, oh,
movie needed a little something. Like, why was he having all these paranoid freakouts? He needed to be like schizophrenic or murderous or something at the end,
right on.
but he wasn't.
Yeah. Well, I did like how he was like, the guy was all like, "You're the only one that didn't
The
send
yellow
them."
letter
What?
that didn't send the money from the yellow
Yeah,
letter
yeah. From the and he's like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "Because you lost it," or whatever he says. I
because you
can't
never
remember.
got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and me, I'm all like, "Yeah, hit him with the hammer again. Hit him." And then he's like, "I'm never gonna tell you." And I'm like, "Why don't you just have him pay you the $5,000? That's what you want." I'm like, "What? You want to torture him more? That's so weird. What, you want the 5,000? Just be like,
This
give."
guy's doing it so much, he's gonna get $1 billion.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get so much money because he just kept doing it.
Yeah. Well, and
Um,
remember when they're sitting in the diner, she's like, "Oh, the New York Times says that's 5 more or 7 more or
yeah,
something."
yeah. That's
And
which
Jordan's like, "Turn that off."
Yeah, which is like, so that's like crazy. Like I'm just like, man, there's a lot of fucking crazy people out there. I really don't think my wife could do anything to where I would kill her. Like I can't, like even if she cheated on me, I'd be like, especially if it was just once, I know I would be mad, obviously, but I don't think I could kill somebody.
Be
Like,
like, I think we need some couples therapy.
oh
There's
no,
something
I
going
definitely would be like, get the fuck out. You need to leave for a little bit
on.
of time. I need some time away from you, you know?
I don't think I would ever murder anyone, but then I also go, if they hurt my children,
Oh, that's a good point
that might
too.
be the situation that crossed the line for me.
That's a good point too. But my wife, I mean, if like I said, if she cheated, I don't think I could murder her. I don't think I would.
Oh, I definitely couldn't.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I would like to talk about the confession at the very end because he goes
Oh,
to
yeah.
he's yeah. And was there something else you want to talk about? Go
No,
ahead.
no, I love the garage meltdown
Yeah.
because he
So,
doesn't have enough meltdowns in this movie. He
oh,
needed one big one.
right. Oh, this one was. I felt like this was a good one.
This was a big one.
I loved how he's about to burn all the evidence. And I was like, yeah, that's, subtle in the garage,
On the concrete, that's going to leave a big giant
Yeah.
burn mark.
I was like, it's fine. You're already crazy and everything. And so I love how when he looks up and she's right there, he's like, hey, there she is. I was like, oh, that's what you say when you're caught. That's so adorable. And I love how she just randomly has scissors in her hands, like, hey, weirdo, you psychopath.
I was like that. I was like, wait, you went to get groceries and you just grabbed a pair of scissors too and opened them? I was super confused on why there were scissors as well.
Yeah. And then he is like brutally honest about shit. Like he's like, what did he say? Like, I went to a hotel for an anonymous hookup. He's like, no, that's a fucking lie. Tell the truth. Be honest. Okay, I knew there was gonna be another way. I was like, who are you talking to, psychopath? Are you talking to yourself? Talking to your fiance? Or just like what? What? What's going on here?
He's missed his lines. He's
Yeah.
yelling at himself.
Yeah. And then he's like, my teeth are fucked. I was like, your teeth are so fucked. You are so right. He's like, I'm not important. And I was like, you are not important. I was like, you are being
I
brutally
leased this
honest.
Tesla. I don't own it. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's like out of all the things, that's the
I was like,
important
well,
thing.
I was like, that's a pretty big deal. I want a Tesla. So I mean, I was like, well, that's bummer because Teslas are nice. And then I like how he was all like, he's like, I'm not the man you like, I'm not as important as you think I am, or da, 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 and then the whole world is going to shit even more than I know it is, or what something. I can't remember everything he said, but it was a good speech. Anyways.
It was a good speech, but the whole time you're going, dude, you're giving way more information than you
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to.
It's like those people that won't shut the fuck up, and you're like, yo, dude, shut the fuck up. They just asked you what color it was.
Or like a villain with their big monologue at the end. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, for sure. And then I love how she's just like, and then he's like seeing her grip the scissors. He's like, oh, he's like, yeah, just do it. I deserve it. Yada yada and everything. And I'm like, now, did you think when you first saw it that she was gonna stab him?
No.
Neither did I. I thought she was not gonna stab him. Okay. And then, but when she goes, I forgive you, the look on his, I laughed out loud. The look on his face because he was just like, huh? Huh? And everything.
I
Yeah,
figured at that point, she's not the type of woman that killed him. She's the type of woman that just went, I have him by his balls for the rest of his life now.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe the dick was good because she was like she stayed with him at the end. Like they just go where did they go to? Where did they go to? Like Mexico or some shit like that?
They're trying to get out of the country as quickly as possible. But my whole thing is that why she stayed with him, or is it because she's pregnant?
Oh yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I think she's just as crazy as him. Crazy loves crazy. So
right on.
that's my story, but what
Right
I
on.
think it's happened here.
And did you think when the waitress at the end wrote her number on the thingy and gave it, do you think he took her up on that?
Oh, well, he leaves it on the table.
Yeah,
So
I
I
can
don't know
remember
how
10 numbers.
I mean, that is true. I can remember our childhood phone numbers still.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think he did because he definitely looked over his shoulder at her and everything. And he does seem like the serial cheat. So, because through the whole movie, he's looking at women. So,
Right on.
what about you?
Okay.
Think he used the number?
I mean, I'm gonna say no because I think he just realized that shit was just so fucked up at that point that he's just like, I'm not gonna do it.
Well, and when is he gonna see her again though? They're leaving right now to get to the border, so.
Right, exactly. Okay. Was there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this sucker up?
Do you think the guy ever caught up with them or anything? Or because I'm like, why are they trying to get out of the country? Because he doesn't quit his job. He says he takes a leave of absence from his job. But then when they're sitting in the cafe, are they just going, and they packed a U-Haul and everything?
I think they're just trying to get out of the country because shit's all fucked up with that dude.
Because everybody's killing their spouses.
Yeah, their spouses for cheating, and you're just like, why don't we calm it down for like a hot minute, you guys? This is crazy.
You think in the yellow envelope it said pay me $5,000 to if you want to know who it is? If you don't pay me $5,000, I'm gonna tell your spouse. Like, I feel like
that's a good question. I don't know.
Because I feel like he can't be the only one. Like, that's the whole thing on if it was supposed to be no strings attached, strictly anonymous, and then you get a yellow letter saying, if you want to know who the person is, pay me $5,000. Well, doesn't that up the ante on you getting caught if you find out who the person is and you pay them $5,000? You took $5,000 out of your bank account. Wouldn't your wife go, what the fuck are you doing with $5,000?
Oh yeah, she'd be fucking mental pissed
off. That's
what
I mean. So that's my whole thing is like, there has to be, even if these people pay him, there has to be a way, something, because those the guys that their wives killed them, they didn't tell their wives. And neither did the girl. I mean, but in all situations, their spouses killed them.
I mean, you make an excellent point. I don't know.
There are just things missing. And I hate when there are things missing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good movie. I say definitely watch it. I mean, besides the temper tantrums that Jordan has and his paranoid shit. Oh, sometimes though, I was like, another one, get your shit together. I did love when he thought his assistant said, did your wife sit on your face this morning? Oh my God. And she really said, did you wake up on the right side of bed this morning?
Oh no. I loved when he was hysterical. I love when he would snap at his assistant because I was like, yeah, show that whore her place and everything. So, all right. So you did like the movie. Would you recommend this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
It's definitely a thinker.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, the sex parts were really good. I was like, yeah, fuck that whore.
Did you write down the timestamps to tell everybody?
No, I don't do that. I just go to Mr. Skin if you want to figure that shit out. You don't need to hear it from me. Okay. We're both in the same boat. I liked it and I would recommend. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this thing up, you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and make sure to follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated on all our shenanigans. That is especially. Now, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review, you guys, and a positive review at that. We would really appreciate it. It helps us out monetarily wise. So that way I can pay the $5,000 to find out who I fucked. And we would really appreciate it. Now, we'll also be posting the video version of this so you can see our lovely faces to our YouTube channel, mine especially. I am the pretty one of the group. So be sure to, I'm the pretty one. Stop it. So be sure to subscribe to us on there, like everything, comment, all that good stuff. And that is on YouTube at BS Drunk Movie Reviews. Also, we have started a Patreon, you guys. It's really fun. It's got different levels for whatever you're interested in. What we do over there is we review movie franchises. The latest one we did was Ghostbusters. That was a really good time. We've also done like Scream, the Bring It On series, Sex and the City, all that good stuff. You can go check it out and everything. It's really fun. The description for that will be in the link for that will be in the description down below, you guys. Also, you guys, I just want to say the most important thing tonight. Please don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, you guys.
Bye, guys.